Morning to all. Sir, Director sir.
Yeah, I am hearing. Back to.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine.
Please wait.
Okay,
Please wait.
fine. Thank you.
Yes, sir,
Ma'am.
yes, sir.
Oh,
Sir, I'm also inside.
okay, ma'am. Miss Afra. Miss Afra.
Yes, sir.
Afra is also
Okay.
there, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can start, sir. We can start, sir.
Okay.
We can start or we have to wait for 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. Wait for 5 minutes. Till 11 o'clock we start.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
அக்கா இப்போ இது நான் கொஞ்ச நேரம் பிஸி, அப்புறம் நான் கூப்பிட்றேன். எனக்கு செஷன் ஆரம்பிக்க போகுது. அப்புறம் கேட்டுக்கோங்க, டைம் நிறைய இருக்கு. Joseph I. Thomas, postdoctoral fellow, Department of Library.
Sir, we can start, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Am I
sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. Audible. Your presentation is not visible, sir.
Presentation is not visible.
Yes, sir.
Is it now? Is
I
it
can.
visible?
Now it's visible, sir. Now it's visible.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Afra?
Sir, can I start?
Hello.
Sir, we can start, sir. We can start. Please.
Sir, can I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Afra, you can start.
Okay. A pleasant good morning to one and all who have gathered here. Information is a source of learning, but unless it is accessed and available to the right people in a format for decision making, it is a burden, not a benefit. With these words of William Pollard, I welcome you all to today's webinar on the topic Information Sources presented by Dr. Joseph I. Thomas. Before getting started, a gentle reminder, participants please mute your mic at the time of presentation. The session will be open for queries once the presentation gets over. Now, I request Dr. Shalini Pakyam Kamala, Professor and Head, Department of SNH, Nehru Institute of Engineering and Technology, to deliver welcome address.
Honorable resource person and beloved participants, it's my pleasure to welcome information sources. At this juncture, I'm formally welcoming my management authorities, Dr. P. Krishnadas, Chairman and Managing Trustee, and Dr. P. Krishna Kumar, CEO and Secretary of Nehru Group of Institutions in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, in their absentia. Next, I'm happy to welcome our Principal, Dr. P. Maniyarasan, Nehru Institute of Engineering and Technology. And it's my honor to welcome the resource person, Dr. Joseph I. Thomas, Postdoctoral Fellow, Department of Library and Information Sciences, University of Kerala. Sir has vast academic background and he is going to deliver us some informations on information sources. So we are very happy to welcome you, sir. And this is another important point that every week, at least one or two programs we are enriched with the learning tools, our resources, our study materials through Dr. Sendil Kumar, librarian of PK Das Knowledge Fort. We thank you and we appreciate you, sir. And we welcome today's participants, all beloved participants of both faculty and the people from Department of Library. Happy to welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I request Dr. P.T. Vijayaraj Kumar, Director, Department of Management Studies, Nehru Institute of Engineering and Technology, to deliver presidential address and introduce our resource person.
Sir, Vijay, sir.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Now it's audible, sir. You can continue, sir.
Okay. Good morning to all. Good morning to all. Most respected chief guest of today's program and the resource person of today's webinar, dear most faculty, colleagues, dear students, and lovable participants from various parts of our country. So I'm very much happy to be part of this webinar information on information sources. Information may be very important. It may be converted into data for all researchers, for all skills. When we want to develop skills and knowledge, we need to collect information, and how we are going to use that information, that is very important. How we are going to gather the information, what are the sources for information, that is very essential. So this topic will be very much useful for all the people, those who are in research, those who are in study, those who are in academic field. These information sources are very much essential. Nowadays, in this online world, this information sources are very useful for all of us. We can gather anything from the web or Google. Whatever we want to know, we can learn from these online sources. So this information source, this webinar will be very much useful. We appreciate our librarians, sir, for taking initiativeness to organize this program on this information webinar on information sources. Today we have a right person. Dr. Joseph I. Thomas is a postdoctoral doctoral fellow, Department of Library and Information Science, University Library Building, University of Kerala at Trivandrum, and he has completed his master's degree in University of Kerala in the year 2011, and he has completed MPhil in University of Kerala. He has completed UGC NET in 2013, and he has completed PhD degree, doctoral degree in University of Kerala, and postdoctoral fellowship, that University postdoctoral fellowship in University of Kerala, and also he has completed PGDCA. He has presented so many purposes on online access, open access resources, electronic information resources, and method of adopting for how can we manage resource data, open access resources, and so many papers he has presented in various national and international seminars. And also he has presented papers in e-resources, online resources in various national and international journals. And also he has he is also the books and sources of crime data, international law against bullying, anti-bullying organization, like this online resources and other library-related subjects. He has published so many books. So today we have the right person for this webinar. On behalf of Nehru Institute of Engineering Technology and Nehru Group of Institutions, we are very much happy to welcome you, sir, for this webinar. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I call upon our resource person, Dr. Joseph I. Thomas, to start presentation.
A very good morning to all of you. I am Dr. Joseph I. Thomas, postdoctoral fellow, Department of Library and Information Science, University of Kerala. Today, the topic is information sources and overview. I hope you can see the presentation, isn't it?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Visible, sir.
Visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Information sources and overview. So, we can start right now. Creating, using, sharing, and accessing information is an integral part of research process. Finding valid information for research is indeed a Herculean task for a novice. In this presentation, I will be detailing on various information sources that will fetch you authentic information for research or similar activities where data authenticity is of high priority. It's not yeah, second slide. Okay. Information sources of information is divided into two: documentary sources and non-documentary sources. Documentary sources is again divided into three: primary, secondary, and tertiary sources. And non-documentary sources are divided into oral or written communication is then divided into two: formal and informal sources. This is a tree diagram that shows all types of information sources: documentary sources, primary, secondary, and tertiary sources, non-documentary sources, formal and informal sources. This is the split up of the sources that I have described in this presentation. Hope you can see, hope all can see and hear me. this is the amount of sources that I have described in this presentation. Primary resources 10, secondary resources 14, tertiary resources 10, e-resources 16, and academic search engine 60, and a total of 110 resources. Primary sources. Primary sources are original sources of information. Primary sources are first published records of original research and development activities. They are more current and up-to-date information sources. They constitute latest available information, and primary sources consist of new knowledge and new interpretation of old knowledge. These sources contain unfiltered original ideas, discoveries, and inventions. Examples of primary sources are government documents, patents, standards, journal articles, autobiographies, diaries, memories, speeches, technical reports, internet, survey research, proceedings of meetings, conference, dissertation and theses, historical documents, films, photographs, video recordings, music, architecture, literature, newspaper articles, research reports, and trade literature. Why are the primary sources so important? Primary sources are important because they provide up-to-date and current information for researchers. The amount of primary literature indicates the development of a subject. A subject changes into a discipline through the amount of primary publications. And it helps in avoiding duplication of data, and primary sources generate much information. What are the demerits of primary sources? Primary sources are rather unorganized, and it's difficult to consult. Consider reading a thesis or dissertation. It's cumbersome. The information that is in primary sources is scattered among many sources. Information on minute topic is not available. For example, thesis, we can say that it deals with a large quantity of data and not specifically for the data will not be that fine. The data may not be that fine and easy to interpret for a normal reader or a layman. The characteristics of primary resources are the following. They are the original sources of information. The information may be collected through surveys, interviews, field works, original articles, etc. The primary resources are present in original form without any interpretation, evaluation, or condensation. They contain first-hand information. Examples of primary sources. Government documents. There are many types of government documents which are published either by state government or by union government. They are all forms of primary sources. I have mentioned a few examples of primary sources of government documents. The first example is of an act. Every act comes under government document and is a primary source. Delivery of Books and Newspapers Act. Every act, IPC, CRPC, etc. are government documents and is a primary source. Lok Sabha debates, Rajya Sabha debates, and ministry communication, etc. are comprises of government documents, and these are all primary sources. These are two magazines, which is the official publication of two government departments. Serial publications. Serial publication includes periodicals, newspapers, magazines, journals, directories, etc. According to L.M. Harrod, a publication with a distinctive title which appears at stated or regular intervals without a prior decision as to when the last issue will appear. That's the definition of serial publication. A publication with distinctive title. Title must be distinctive, and it must appear in regular intervals. The serials are printed or non-printed publications issued in parts, usually bearing issue number and issue date or both. Newspapers. Newspapers are publication issued at frequent intervals, usually daily or weekly. It reports current events or topics of general interest. It's a source of local information and they appear in print and online form. It gives a current information on international, national and local events. Examples of newspaper everybody knows, so I didn't provide the example. Okay. Magazines. Magazine, the word magazine is derived from the Arabic word makazin, which means storehouse. It contains collections of articles and images on variety of topics, and it helps find information about a popular culture, up-to-date information about current events, journal articles, etc. Journals. A collection of articles written by scholars on a specific topic. What's the difference between a journal and a magazine is that magazine contains popular articles and journals contain articles by scholars, and it's a scholarly, and the journals are of scholarly nature. The articles in the magazine are not of a scholarly nature, but it is a popular article. Electronically published journals are known as e-journals, and journals are mainly consist of three types: non-commercial journals, commercial journals, and house journals. And house journals are there. Non-commercial journals, commercial journals, and house journals are there. Non-commercial journals are journals published by learned societies, academic institutions, etc. It's the aim of non-commercial journals is to publish researchers' articles. Commercial journals are published by commercial publications, and they have worldwide circulation. House journals are journals produced by industrial organizations and business houses. These are for the benefits of staff, and it's not for profit. House journals can be divided into two: internal house journals and external house journals. External house journals is circulated among clients, and internal house journals are circulated among staff. Research reports. Research reports are unpublished or semi-published literature. Reports related to literature in progress are research reports. They provide descriptive account of research work, and many organizations like NASA, IAEA, etc. produces research reports. Trade literature. Catalog and other advertising or promotional material described for a firm, usually free of charge. Trade literature contains those information and that's about the goods, processes, services, etc. Produced by that particular company, so that they can sell more goods. The purpose of trade literature is to publicize and promote selling products. It is published in business houses, trade related bodies, etc. Patents. Patent is a protection granted by the government to an inventor to avoid unauthorized exploitation. It's an exclusive right for the holder to produce, distribute, and sell an item. Mass information about new discoveries and inventions is available in patents. Scientists and technologists use this to know about quality of the products. We have a patent office by Government of India. Standards. Standard is a pamphlet set up by the authority to rule for a measure of quantity, weight, quality covering definitions, methods, properties, etc. Pamphlet cover definition, properties, measures, and process of production, composition, length, width, weight, etc. The institutions that authorize the standards are Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS, and British Standards Institute, BSI. These ensure reliability for the consumers. A4 size paper, we have already we have heard of A4 size paper, 210 mm into 297. That's the standard of A4 sized paper. We have other standards of paper like A3, A2, A1, etc. And all these have a particular measurement, and those papers which have the size of which have that particular size could be cited as A4 or A3. That's the example of a standard. We have weight standards also. The standards are an important source for designers and manufacturers. Standards for Indian flag is mentioned, and then and in the Indian flag we can see that all the colors, the size of the chakra all are standardized, and this way we can see we can ensure a uniformity. When when displaying Indian flag, we can make a uniformity in official official meetings, etc. When Indian flag is hoisted, there must be a uniformity in the flag. So standards are definitely work for making a process a standardized process, standardized for uniform accessibility, uniform acceptability. The following is another set of standards. Unpublished documents. 40% of the sources are unpublished sources. For example, diaries, laboratory notebooks, memoranda, letters, etc. are unpublished sources, and they contain first-hand information. What are secondary sources? A secondary source interprets and analyzes a primary source. As we have mentioned earlier, a primary source is difficult to understand. Let me, we can, when we look into a thesis, a dissertation, etc., it's definitely very cumbersome for an ordinary person to understand what's written there, or what's the primary theme that the thesis is focused on, or the dissertation is presenting what the theme dissertation is presenting. That's very difficult to understand. When we come to secondary source, the secondary sources analyze a primary source and rewrite the primary source based on the needs of the users. Textbook is an example of secondary source. That's based on a primary source. Example, a textbook could be based on a thesis or dissertation that is submitted by somebody. But the thesis is rewritten in such a way that ordinary persons could easily digest what's inside in the thesis. That's the importance of secondary source. Like, what are the characteristics of secondary source? Secondary sources are collected and arranged in a systematic way, and it analyze, discuss, and interpret primary data. It do not carry original information. It's easy to consult, and it's widely available than primary source, and helps to find a particular primary source and acts as a key to primary sources. These are the characteristics of secondary sources. Now we can go to the types of secondary sources. Secondary sources index selected portions of primary literature for finding what is published on a particular topic. For example, abstracting and indexing periodicals is a type of secondary source. A survey selected portion for primary literature and helps in acquiring comprehensive information is also a type of secondary source. For example, review, treatise, etc. contains that information from primary literature, but it is redesigned in such a way that normal persons could understand. Encyclopedia, dictionary, handbook, etc. are also sources of secondary information. Periodicals, abstracts, index, advances, encyclopedia, dictionary, review, treatise, monograph, textbooks, handbooks, tables, etc. are examples of secondary sources. Let's go into details of these examples. Periodicals or series. Those periodicals which specialize in interpreting and providing opinions on developments reported in primary sources of information are known as secondary periodicals. They are of two types, indexing and abstracting periodicals. In indexing periodical, items are selected with bibliographical details from primary sources and is arranged in such a way that it is the information contained is arranged under subject headings or under class numbers. For example, Index Medicus and Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature is an indexing periodical. What's meant by an abstracting periodical? In an abstracting periodical, the contents of selected the items are condensed so that we get only the gist of what's inside a particular article or text, etc. It's handy than other types of information source, because the crux of the article only the crux of the article will be published in abstracts, so that if you want to read if you want more information only, you need to go for the full text. It saves a lot of time actually for scientists, etc. LISA, Library Information Science Abstract. LISTA, Library Information Science and Technology Abstracts. Psychological Abstract, Physics Abstract, Biological Abstracts, etc. are examples of abstracting periodicals. What is an index? An index is a systematic guide to the text of any reading matter or to the contents of any other collected documentary material having a series of entries with headings arranged in alphabetical or other chosen order with the reference to show the location. Index will be showing the particular details to which a particular article is presented, or where the article is, so that you need not go for searching the particular information, and you can save a lot of time. Examples of index are Index Medicus, Science Citation Index, Index of Economic Journals, etc. What is an abstract? An abstract must be fully self-contained, and it highlights key content areas, your research purpose, and the relevance or importance of your work, and the main outcomes. Abstracts are mainly of three types: descriptive abstract, informative abstract, and indicative abstracts. Descriptive abstract indicates the type of information found in the work. It makes no judgment about the work. In the case of informative abstracts, the abstract presents the essential elements of a longer work in a short and powerful statement. Indicative abstract is a short, simple, and objective. It describes the theme of an article or publication. What are advances? Advances are review journals which analyze, evaluate, and interpret information in primary journals. For example, advances in educational psychology, advances in chemical physics, advances in librarianship, etc. They analyze, evaluate, and interpret information. That's the main. That's the gist. What's an encyclopedia? An encyclopedia gives information on all branches of knowledge or on a specific subject. There are basically two types of encyclopedia. Subject encyclopedia, which gives information on all branches of a specific subject. That's called subject encyclopedia. For example, Encyclopedia of Psychology, Encyclopedia of Statistics, etc. General encyclopedia contains information that covers the universe of knowledge. For example, Encyclopedia Britannica, Encyclopedia Americana, etc. What's the dictionary? A dictionary deals with words of a language or of a special subject, author, etc. Thus, a dictionary is a word book. There are various types of dictionaries. For examples, monolingual, bilingual, multilingual, linguistic, encyclopedic dictionary, general dictionary, special dictionary, diachronic dictionary. For example, Oxford English Dictionary is a general dictionary, and Dictionary of Library Information Science is a subject dictionary. What's a review? A review is a survey of the primary literature. It aims to digest and correlate the literature over a given period. It also indicates the developments and trends in the current field. It may appear as a collection of papers or in regular basis or in the form of an article or in a periodical. The following are the examples of reviews. ARIST, Annual Review of Information Science and Technology, Annual Review of Medicine, etc. ARIST is Annual Review of Information Science and Technology. Another review is Annual Review of Medicine. You can find any other. I have just listed only 2 reviews. What's a treatise? A treatise is a comprehensive compilation or summary of information on a subject. A treatise is a subject that provides enough information to a person to acquire basic knowledge so as to carry out a specific research. It also provides facts along with discussion. A treatise to a system of world. Comprehensive compilation of a summary or summary of an information, summary of information and a knowledge. Summary of information on a subject is called treatise. It contains the main points, etc., so that you do not go for the entire text. What's a monograph? A monograph is a short treatise on a specific subject. A monograph and a treatise serve the same purpose. The scope of the monograph is limited. Treatise may be long and monographs are short. For example, P.B. Shelley's monograph by H.L. Salt. Primary aim of textbook. Textbook. What is meant by textbook? Textbook is a book that is developed for giving an understanding on a specific subject. Textbooks are often attractive and gives colorful and ample illustrations and figures. There are many textbooks. I just mentioned one. The primary aim, the textbook aims to develop an understanding about the subject, and it's written in that format so that it's easily understandable to the students and not for research scholars, etc. That it's arranged in such a way that the information contained in a textbook will be based on chapters, and these chapters will be self-contained. Normally it will be self-contained and will be talking about a particular topic. That's the difference of a textbook and a book. What's a handbook? A handbook is a compilation of miscellaneous information in a compact and handy form. It contains data, procedures, principles, etc. Tables, diagrams, graphs, illustrations are provided in handbooks. There are different types of handbooks. I just cited one. What a table? Table is a data structure that organizes information into rows and columns. It could be used to store and display data. Example, logarithm table. What are tertiary sources? Tertiary sources contain information distilled from primary and secondary sources. The main function of tertiary source is to aid the user in using primary and secondary source. They summarize, and repackage ideas or other information. Examples of tertiary sources are bibliography of bibliographies, directories, guides to literature, list of research in progress, etc. What are the characteristics of tertiary sources? Tertiary sources refer or list primary sources and secondary sources in a particular specific subject area. And they index, organize, and compile citations to secondary and primary sources. There are materials in which the information from secondary sources have been digested, reformatted, and condensed to produce in a convenient and easy to read format. The examples of tertiary sources are directories, guides to literature, almanacs, yearbooks, union catalogs, bibliography of bibliographies, statistical compendium, fact books, chronologies, list of research in progress, etc. Let's look into each of these resources. Okay. What's a directory? A directory is a list of persons or organizations systematically arranged, usually in an alphabetic or classes order, giving addresses, affiliation, etc. for individuals and addresses, offices, functions, and similar data for organization. There are local, government, and institutional and professional directories. Example of one directory, KL Cliff Biff Exhibitors Directory. Telephone directory is another example of a directory. There are many other directories. Guides to literature. Guides to literature assist a user to use literature on a specific subject. It helps to evaluate and introduce literature. It emphasizes in guides to literature. The emphasis on guides to literature is rather than the literature than the content. A guide to reference and information sources is an example of guide. Almanac. According to Airley Glossary, an almanac is an annual publication containing a calendar frequently accompanied by astronomical data and other information, or an annual yearbook of statistics and other information, sometimes in a particular field. An example of an almanac is Canadian Almanac and Directory, World Almanac and Book of Facts, Information Place Almanac. These are all examples of almanacs. What is an yearbook? An yearbook is an annual volume of current information in descriptive or statistical form, usually sometimes limited to a specific field. It provides a comprehensive account of the subject in compact form. It's an annual compendium of current information. For example, Malayalam Manorama English yearbook. There are other yearbooks. Just I mentioned one popular yearbook. That's it. What's a union catalog? A union catalog is a catalog listing in one sequence the holding of one or more library of two or more libraries. When two union catalogs are useful when we have to look for a particular information from without going to a set of libraries. For example, union catalog of books books of a specific university will be helpful if we create a union catalog for a university. It will be helpful for all the students, because universities will be having departments, and each department will be having its own library. And if we make a union catalog for the department libraries, it may be beneficial for the students to know what is the collection of a particular department, and we can go to a specific department in search of a specific information or book. You need not you need not waste the time. Some of the examples of union catalogs are NUCSI, National Union Catalog of Scientific Serials in India. Another union catalog, Nepal National Union Catalog, UNICAT, Union Catalog of Belgian Libraries, and INDICAT, Online Union Catalog of Indian Universities. That's INDICAT. It saves the time. That's the main advantage of union catalog. Bibliography of bibliographies. Bibliography of bibliographies is a list of bibliographies which is helpful in listing in bibliographies by subject, individual, places, etc. The different types of bibliography of bibliographies are current bibliography of bibliographies, retrospective bibliography of bibliographies, guide to reference books, etc. The examples of bibliographies are Index Bibliographicus. The details are as below. List of research in progress. List of research in progress is necessary for planning research and avoid research duplication, for anticipating information, etc. Such a list will cover research activities of a single institution, laboratory, or a group of institutions in a specific subject. Information content will include short description of the project, names of the investigators, periods of investigation, etc. Chronologies. A chronology lists the events described in the order of the date on which they occurred. The chronologies are arranged by date and they use narrative form to present facts. Historical tables and chronologies may span long or very short period of time. For example, Between High and Low. It's a chronology of High Hellenic period by T. Boy, published in 2007. Fact books. A fact book contains a set of facts in a classified sequence. The examples of fact books are World Fact Book by CIA, UND Fact Book by University of North Dakota, Onion Fact Book, Lynch Corporation Fact Book, etc. Statistical Compendium. Statistical Compendium provides statistical data which is organized under specific subject headings. Example, Science and Technology Statistical Compendium 2004 and Statistical Compendium on Allied Contributions to Small Common Defense. These are two examples of Statistical Compendium. Tertiary so let's summarize what's meant by tertiary sources. The tertiary sources list primary and secondary sources of information in a specific subject area. It works with these are works which index, organize, and compile citations and show secondary and primary sources of information. The materials in which information from secondary sources have been reformatted and condensed to put it in a easy to read format. That's meant by a tertiary source in a nutshell. Formal and informal sources. Formal sources include research organizations, learned and professional societies, government departments, academic institutions, etc. Informal sources include discussions with experts, professional meeting, conference, etc. What are geographical information sources? Geographical information sources are another type of information source, and geographical source includes maps, atlases, globes, etc. And they can be general or topographic, local or specific, special or thematic. These are the varieties of atlases, maps, etc. Gazetteer. Gazetteer is also a geographical information source. These are of the following. Gazetteer are of the following types: international or world gazetteer, national gazetteer, regional gazetteer, local gazetteer, etc. are types of gazetteers. Another type of geographical information source is travel guides. There are two types of travel guides: the series travel guides in series and individual travel guides. These are the types of geographical information sources. Now we can move on to e-resources. E-resources or electronic resources. The examples of e-resources are databases, e-journals, e-books, e-newspapers, e-images, e-music and sounds, data or GIS, geographical information sources, academic commons, academic search engines, consortia, e-reference, subject guides, web search tools, subject or information gateway, multi-subject gateway, library catalog, e-magazine, etc. We will look all these sources into we'll dig into deep about all these sources in the coming slides. What is a database? An electronic database consists of organized pieces of information placed into records. An electronic database includes products such as periodicals, abstracts, directories, encyclopedias, dictionaries, etc. Electronic database provides search facility to users by subject, type, title, etc. It could be of the following types. An electronic database could be of the following type: multi-subject database, newspaper database, film, video database, individual database, etc. So the following are types of examples of database. EBSCOhost is a multi-subject database. Nexus Uni. Nexus Uni is a newspaper database, and Canopy is a streaming film database. ABI Inform Global is an individual database. So given one example is for all the following types of databases. You can search for others also. E-journals. E-journals or electronic journals are journals that are available in the electronic form or can be accessed using computer and communication technology. It could either be free or paid service. The following portals offers free access to e-journals: DOAJ, Directory of Open Access Journals, and OpenAccessJournals.com, SpringerOpen.com, Academic, Oxford University Press Open Access Journals. MDPI is also a portal for open access journals. dGrender portal also offers open access journals. PubMed offers open access journals. Medline offers open access, and Bookshelf also provides open access journals. Ebooks. An ebook is an electronic version of a book that can be read by using a personal computer or by using ebook reader. A user can purchase an ebook on a diskette or CD. Examples of ebooks are Intellectual Property by Stephen and McJohn is an example of an ebook. It's available as ebook. The following portals offers free access to ebooks: DOAB, Intech Open, Springer Open, OAPN, dGrender, etc. offers free access to ebooks. Electronic newspaper. Electronic newspaper is a self-contained, reusable and refreshable version of a traditional newspaper that acquires and holds information electronically. The following are the examples of e-newspaper: Hindu e-newspaper, Indian Express e-newspaper, Hindustan Times e-newspaper, etc. There are electronic newspaper search engines also. Electronic images. Due to the advent of e-image facility, the image databases are used specifically in subjects such as history, geography, medical sciences, etc. The libraries develop in-house digital image collections and also provide access to selected external databases to their cliently. Examples of e-images. These are the portals that provides electronic images. I have not provided the example of an e-image, but the portals only. You can download the electronic image from any of these portals. These are all free of cost. E-music and sounds. Digital sound recordings are made available in many libraries. The following portals offers electronic music and sounds, that too free of cost: LibriVox.com.org, YouTube Audio Library, bensound.com, freesound.org. These are all freely. These portals offer free e-music and sounds. Data or geographical information system. A geographical information system is a system used for capturing, storing, manipulating, analyzing all types of geographical data. The following are the examples of GIS: Antarctic Digital Database, China Historical GIS, Earthworks FAO GIS Gateway, etc. Academic Commons. The intellectual output of a particular organization will be there in an academic common. Online access to universities, university dissertations, working papers, theses, etc. are there in academic commons. Columbia University provides its academic commons. And CUNY University provides academic commons, etc. Consortia is useful for getting vast amount of databases at minimal cost. The databases in a consortia will be many. If we go for purchasing all the databases in a consortia, it will be very much costly. So, if a university or an institution is part of a consortia, they need to pay only minimal cost so that they get all the resources from a resources that is offered by a consortia. So that's the basic principle of a consortia. Resources will be many, and the users also will be many, and all the users can access all the resources in a consortia, and the users need to pay only a fraction of the amount they are supposed to pay. They will all the institutions need not pay the full amount. The examples of consortia are OE consortium. These are all open access consortiums. OE consortium, OCCdata.org, Mobius consortium, Brain Commons, etc. In Brain Commons, data pertaining to PTSD, TBI, neurodegenerative disease, etc. are there. And all the information in Brain Commons is in open access. E-references. E-references comprises of the following types of resources: dictionaries, translators, encyclopedia, directory, glossary, virtual newspaper, etc. are forms of e-references. Subject guides. Subject guides are guides which focus on a specific subject field. Subject guides provide information on a specific subject field. They are both in print and electronic format. Subject guides help the faculty cater their needs to user demands. Some of the subject guides are subject guide by Canterbury University, subject guide by University of York, etc. There are many other subject guides. I have just listed some of the subject guides. These are handy for getting subject specific information. Subject guide in English will give information on English literature. Subject guide in Malayalam literature will give information on Malayalam literature. And these subject guides often provides dictionaries, textbooks, etc. and all under a single URL. That's the difference. That's the specialty of a subject guide that is created by majority of the universities. It's a handy thing. Web search tools. There are different web search tools. The following are web search are the most often used web search tools. Google Book Search, Google Maps, Google Scholar, YouTube, Flickr, etc. are web search tools. These are used for finding a particular information or general information. But these the information contained in Google Scholar, etc. are scholarly in nature, so that we can use for academic purposes. YouTube often provides informative videos, and it's also a form of communicating to a wider audience. Nowadays, YouTube is used for generating educational videos, etc. So it could be also be termed as a academic resource. YouTube could also be termed as an academic source. Subject or information gateway. Subject or information gateway are free information sources that are useful for searching information for subject-specific information. Example: GoGeo, I Love Languages, Law Links, Chemdex, etc. These are all examples of subject gateways. Law links provide information in law, Chemdex on chemistry, high-level languages for language learning, etc. If these are the examples of subject gateways that provides information on a single subject, the multi-subject subject gateway is provides information on multiple subjects. For example, Babool, Intuit, Academic Info are examples of subject gateways that provides information on multiple subjects. Library catalog. Library catalog or OPAC, online public access catalog, provides information about the holdings of a particular library or a set of libraries. If it's an example, WorldGate. WorldGate is a library catalog that provides information from libraries around the world. E-magazine. E-magazine or e-zines are magazines in electronic format. For example, hello? Examples of e-zines are Vanida e-zine, Frontline e-zine, etc. Flip HTML5 is a publishing software for creating electronic magazines. The following are a set of academic search engines. Research purpose, papers in economics, SciCentral, Science.gov, SciSeek, Smithsonian Institution Research Information System, Social Science Research Network, Social Science Citation Index, SocioCite, Springer Link, State Legislative Website Directory, Joe, Strategian, etc. There are many others. Wolfram, WorldGate, etc. are examples of academic search engines. I have listed a few. I will share the PPT, and you can look into the other listed academic search engines. Thank you. As a conclusion, I can say that in this presentation, I have listed a few types of information sources that could be used for finding appropriate content. I utilize this occasion for thanking Dr. Prakashan PM, Sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Library Information Science, University of Kerala, for enriching the presentation with his valuable input in the form of academic search engines. I request everyone to visit his blog, Botless. This is the contact details of myself. You can WhatsApp me in this number, okay?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Afra?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for providing us with an enlightening session. Now the participants can clear their doubts either by unmuting your mic or through the chat box.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible. You can ask, sir.
Achha. Will you please tell something about the National Digital Library? It is open. Its app is also available, and what information is available there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I am able to hear you. You could get my question, sir?
Can you repeat it, because there was a connection problem?
Now, I want to know about the National Digital Library. Na? So
NDL.
What type of information is available? And I think app is also available. How to make use of it? And what are the information available there?
NDL offers offers information on multiple subjects, but it's not you need to register in the NDL platform. You need to register.
It's available for all, even for the
yeah. Available for all.
Even for the common people, anyone.
Yeah. It's available for all.
Participant, if you can, any doubt, please ask to resource person.
Any doubts?
So, Afra?
Yes, sir. So I hope everyone have cleared their doubts.
If someone types, please make it in words actually, so that I need not go look for it, because I see so many here. So any doubts, please make it here actually. Please say actually. Okay, I request. I request all participants to make it audible.
So we have a question in chat box.
Yeah. Please ask.
Can we use as a reference of monograph and annual report for research paper?
Yeah, it's a primary source, so you can. Provided you look into the style book, style manual, and how to cite it according to a style manual. You must look into it. How to for each institution will be following a specific style manual, APA, MLA, etc. You must look into the style manual and look how it is referenced and how it is cited, because book the manner of reference of book is not reference given. Reference style for books is not equal to that of the journals, and thesis has yet another format. So you must look into the format and according to the style manual, what the style manual says. What is the how can we cite according to style manual? We can look. We must look into it. Okay. I hope you get me.
Sir?
You must look into a style manual. In one sentence, you must look into a style manual and refer a style manual, how to cite a particular type of resource, and cite it accordingly. No problem.
Sir, some of the participants asking PPT, sir. If possible, you can share, sir. Share me.
I am willing to give the PPT.
Thank you very much, sir. Afra?
Yes, sir. So I hope everyone have cleared. Now I call upon Dr. K.R. Senthil Kumar, librarian, Nehru Institute of Engineering and Technology, to deliver vote of thanks.
Sir, Thomas, sir, one more question in chat box, sir. What is metadata and what is the working? What is metadata and what is the working of Meta search engine?
What is what is meant by metadata, and what is the purpose of metadata?
What is the working of Meta search engine?
Meta search engine. Meta search engine and metadata. What's the difference between meta search engine and metadata? Metadata is data about data, because metadata is given for in web pages, so that it could be searched easily. The metadata, the elements of given in meta tag. You know meta tag. There is meta tag in HTML. There is a tag called meta tag, and the metadata will be provided in the meta tag. And metadata is used for used by the search spiders to know about the content, to know about the content of the website or the particular page. What's the content that will be provided in the metadata? Understand?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. First of all, I put my gratitude to our CEO and Secretary Sir for giving this opportunity to associate with the institution and to organize this wonderful national webinar on information resources. I also thank Principal of NIET, Dr. P. Maniyarasan Sir, for his full support and guidance for this event. Personally, I want to thank today's Chief Guest, Dr. Joseph I. Thomas, for accepting our invitation. And also I thank Dr. Salini Bhakyam Kamala, Head of the Department, SNH, for giving welcome address. And I thank Dr. P.T. Vijay Rajkumar for giving President's address and introduction of Chief Guest. I also thank AO, IT Administration, Directors, all Department HOD, Faculty of NIET, students and my library team. I special thank to NIET MBA Department student, Ms. Irfa for overall handling the MOC section. Finally, I thank to all the participants for joining today national webinar. Thank you. Joseph, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity that you have given me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Anybody wants the presentation, you can take it from Dr. Senthil Kumar. I have given the presentation to him. Okay.
Okay, sir. I will share, sir. No problem.
Okay, fine. Thank you.